Hiring and working with a general contractor. In this segment, we're going to cover how to identify, find a quality general contractor, and what things to ask to make sure you're getting the quality that you absolutely need in order to build your ADU. Where do we start?
Well, you got to understand that when you're building a building, there's a lot to it.
Yeah.
It's not just the building. It's like, how am I going to hook up my utilities, and how is this going to work?
Yeah.
And do this, and how's it going to affect my house? And then how am I going to manage the subs, and how am I going to get the materials? The person who's taking this on, the general contractor, is taking on a huge risk and a huge responsibility. You're basically telling him, I'm going to give you $150,000 to $250,000 to build a building, and you're not expecting it to be in perfect condition when it's done.
Yep.
And all along the way, there's going to be problem after problem after problem that that contractor is going to resolve.
Yeah.
Okay, if he's a good contractor. If he's not a good contractor, you're going to be struggling. So then it comes down to, how do you get that and manage that? Because that contractor, he's going to have to manage the budget, the building permit, the subs, the quality, getting it done in time. He's got to manage a lot of those pieces. How can you know whether he's got the skill set to do that?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and it sounds like definitely, at least in my mind, I'm always looking at where can I save, but really vetting a quality person that's going to be responsible for everything.
So let me tell you why people kind of get a little bit frustrated, because a contractor will probably charge you anywhere from 25 to 35% of the cost of the building for doing that, for managing it.
Okay.
But he could save you a lot more by ensuring that mistakes aren't made, that you pay twice for something, and managing it to get it done on time. So while it seems like a lot, it's a huge responsibility that he's taking on over the next 6 months. It's a large time commitment and a large responsibility. So it's probably well worth it. He's going to deal with getting your building permit. He's going to deal with all the issues that come down to the inspections in the city, all of the challenges that he's going to have with subcontractors, anything that pops up on the job says, oh, I didn't know that was going to be there. What are we going to do now?
Yeah.
He's going to have to resolve that issue, So how are you going to know that I've got someone who can do that? The real big question is I say there's a few things you need to do. First and foremost, find a contractor and get references.
Yeah.
And don't just get the reference, check those references up.
Yeah.
Get at least 3 or 4 references they're done, and call the people, and don't just ask them, hey, did you do a good job? Because it's easy to say, dig in a little bit deeper and say, did you like working with him? Did he communicate very well? How did he solve problems when they come up?
And how quickly were those problems solved?
And how good was he at communicating where he was going to be on the next thing? And I knew what was coming up. I knew what was going on.
Yeah.
When you talk to them about that kind of stuff, you'll start to understand who this building contractor is that they're going through. Secondly, you're going to have this contractor come out and basically bid on your project. And there's 2 areas that you want to look at when they're doing that bid. First and foremost, for me, if a contractor doesn't come on site and look at the site, I'm never going to hire him.
Yeah.
Because he needs to come on site and look at what's there. What do I have to contend with? Are there trees that are in the way? Is there other stuff? Because there can be things that are not on the plans that can impact how he's going to build that. And if he's not spending the time to come and look at that, he's doing one of 2 things. He's going to not have it, and then he's going to want to do it as a charger, or he's just going to basically buffer a big price to cover all of those types of things.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why I say you really want to have someone who comes and do it. Now, when they're on site, the questions that they ask will tell you the type of contractor that they are. If they ask about, where's the building going to go? How is this going to look? Where are we going to hook up the sewer and whatever else? Where are we going to get the hookups to go into your house? Oh my gosh, if we go through here, that could be a real problem. We really ought to go through here.
Interesting.
So when he asks those questions about that, you know that he's really thinking about what it's going to take to build your job. Then when he actually gives you the proposal, look at the proposal. If all he's giving you is a number, oh, it's going to cost you this. Probably not the guy you want to work with.
Yeah.
You're going to want to work with somebody who has basically broken it out. We're going to spend approximately this much time and effort in our framing, this much in the he's going to kind of break that out.
Yeah.
which tells you that in his mind, he's broken it out to really understand where those costs are going to be.
Right.
And if he's not doing that, how do you know that he's really worked through it?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you're going to find contractors going to vary from the same project by $25 to $50 to $60,000 different in price.
Wow.
And you're going to go, what's the difference? That's going to tell you how well are they looking at it, because the cheapest price may not be the cheapest in the long run.
It might be the one that has the most surprises.
Yeah, it may have more surprises.
Okay.
So you want to understand, how do you deal with change orders? Because there will be a couple of change orders.
Yeah.
It's nearly impossible not to have something come up that doesn't require a change order.
Gotcha.
How do you deal with that? How do you negotiate it? How do you work through that? And then finally, use your personal radar. You know what I mean by your personal radar?
Just feel like you got to have this gut connection, because if I don't like you, I don't trust you.
Yep.
Essentially.
If you've got this thing inside that says, then you probably need to really go back and think about it and talk to somebody else.
Yeah.
So that's what I advise you in working with a contractor. And I can tell you that most contractors are worth it.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing is you got to have good communication with them, because where people get frustrated is when they're not talking about what the job is and what's going on.
That makes sense. When there's more questions than there are answers.
Yeah, and they don't feel like they're getting communicated to.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Brooks, how can someone connect with you guys to ask questions and get their answers?
Well, they can connect to us by going onto our website at aduutah.com. We've got to contact us there. Also, I've got some builders and subcontractors that we've worked with that we can recommend you talk to. So go to our teams page and find that there. But if you're just looking for some quick answers and ways to do, just send us an email. And that email is hello@aduutah.com. So just write your question, send it to hello@aduutah.com, and we'll get right on it.